Security Design Specialist JNCDS-SEC JN0-1332 exam questions are online for you to study the test. 1. Which statement about Juno's firewall filters is correct? A. Firewall filters can be applied as a security policy action. B. Firewall filters do not operate on stateful flows and they serve no purpose in a next-generation firewall. C. Firewall filters can be applied as the packet enters the security device, and they are stateless. D. Firewall filters are applied to TCP packets only, and they do not block UDP packets. 2. According to Juniper Networks, what are two focus points when designing a secure network? Choose 2. A. Performance. B. Automation. C. Distributed control. D. Classification. 3. You are designing a high-availability firewall solution. You select an off-path design instead of an MIME design. What are 2 reasons for this decision? Choose 2. A. The off-path design is less complex. B. The off-path design is more flexible. C. The off-path design uses fewer interfaces at the adjacency layer. D. The off-path design requires a proper routing configuration for selecting traffic. 4. You are designing a security solution for an existing data center. All traffic must be secured using SRX series devices. However, you are unable to change the existing IP addressing scheme. Which firewall deployment method satisfies this requirement? A. Transparent deployment. B. 2-arm deployment. C. 1-arm deployment. D. Inline deployment. 5. You are asked to enable denial of service protection for a web server behind an SRX series device. In this scenario, which feature would you enable? A. Screens. B. App Secure. C. Web filtering. D. Juniper ATP. 6. Which solution would you deploy to accomplish this task? A. June's Spacelog Director. B. Juniper Networks Central Insights. C. Juno's Space Security Director. D. Juniper Networks Secure Analytics. 7. In network design, you must include a method to block IP addresses from certain countries that will automatically update within the SRX series device's security policies. Which technology would accomplish this goal? A. UTM. B. GOP. C. Dynamic DNS. D. IPS. 8. As part of a design requirement, you are asked to allow users in a specific department to authenticate only on their laptops and no other devices on the same network port. Which mode of 802.1x authentication will you use to satisfy this requirement? A. Multiple. B. Single secure. C. Single. D. MAC radius. 9. Your company just purchased another company that uses the same IP address space as your company. You are asked to design a solution that allows both companies to use each other's IT resources. Which 2 actions would you use to accomplish this task? Choose 2. A. Implement double NAT. B. Implement 2 non-overlapping equal-size address blocks. C. Implement 3 non-overlapping equal-size address blocks. D. Implement persisted MAT. 10. You are asked to perform a risk assessment for a core layer switch in your data center. After analyze the annual loss expectancy, AL, for this switch, you conclude that the risk remediation strategy involves purchasing insurance to protect against losses due to compromise or failure. This scenario describes which risk remediation strategy: A. Risk transfer, B. Risk mitigation, C. Risk avoidance, D. Risk acceptance.